champs is in. Yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the race for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the right flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Carr. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
On first and 10, here's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
694. Chief.
Carr now on first down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now first and 10 at their own 24. A carry for the Northern California native, Devontae Booker. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first and 10, Keenum. This is Booker on the dump off. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Very left, very left. Hey, orange, orange! Orange, orange!
So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Keenum now to throw. And the Raiders have got him.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Here's Keenum. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Sam down! Hey, orange, orange! Orange, orange! Roger, roger, roger!
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
734. Low, low, low.
Shotgun now for Carr. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, They say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Well, he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Brandon Marshall in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
734. Down. 180.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Monday down. Go Chief. Down. 180. We're good. 29. 694.
From the gun, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
37. Down. 180. Low. Push it up.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. Stewart shedding through. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Keenum. Drops it underneath for Booker. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Throw left side complete. It's Gordon. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, Defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now Keenum throwing on second. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They dump it off to Lynch. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Darian Stewart there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Carr throwing on second down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Carr now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Hey, boys, got four down. 29. 29. Listen up.
Operating from the gun. Carr. And Matthews has it right side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there at 22. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
6-18.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Raider 1. Low.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception and as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Back in his home state, Royce Freeman getting the carry. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Third and 2, Keenum. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Marquette King now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken it around the 40. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Carr. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. The final shot here before half for Carr. He's going to air one out. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Keenum now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. This is Freeman on first and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Keenum. Out to the right here to Wilson. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Stand down. 53.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Roger, roger, roger. On 53. I go, Roger.
To throw on second down is Keenum. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conlon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He finds Matthews. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, Carr. He'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
Later 8. 6-18.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Later 9. Down. 280.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Express.
Now Carr to try again after the pick 6. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it. Yes.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Carr to throw. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
Down. 180.
Shotgun now for Carr. He finds his target. It's Matthews. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Hey, 7:34.
Carr now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
6:18. 93. 93. That's it.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 48 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Todd Davis leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
24.
On second down, here's Carr. The quick slant caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Down. 280. 734. Hey, here we go.
To throw, it's Carr. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Myers able to knock it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Keenum. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on to punt for Denver. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken in at the 22. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board. And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43.
Down, 280.
From the gun, it's Carr. Going to throw right side here, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Your mind. Low, low, low.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively. This defense so strong all afternoon long, well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Now, you ready? 24.
Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wells, and he'll go down at the 28. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jonathan Hankins in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Low, low, low. Go, Chief.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos are close to finishing off this football game. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is Do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Freeman again. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat-and-mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Get down, get down. 180. 808. Purdue. Go Chiefs.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Get set. 280. Hey. Low. 694.
One final try now for Carr. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Denver, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.